Hi guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and now I want to talk to you about the balancing act of removing yourself from situations and telling people that you don't like what they're doing towards you or how they act towards you or just in your surrounding. And it's a balancing act because we've talked about in many videos how important it is to have positivity around you, and when you speak with really successful people and stuff, this one thing that comes up, which is, if you have negative people around you, run. Don't go, just run. And this channel is not about business, as you all know, but this is one of those aspects that just applies to business, your family life, your relationships, and everything around you, because it all plays together, and the more positivity you have around you, the better you can evolve into the person you want to be and you can be, and all those things. So it is very important to create a positive surrounding around you. And so then the question comes, what do you do? Because the one thing is, you can just remove yourself from the situation. You can change your friends, you can change your workplace, and sometimes you can even cut people from your family out of your life in a way, but it just goes to a certain extent. Like, you don't want to be completely alone. You don't want to start all over again completely. And there are a lot of people in your life which are so important to you that you do not want to cut out, although they have a negative mindset at that moment. So it's really a balancing act to find that, and to find how are you gonna react, how are you gonna act with people who you wanna keep in your life, and then removing yourself from the situation. So when it comes to removing yourself, it's pretty much like this door slam situation, or it's a white or black area. There's no real gray in between. You can just completely remove people by not absorbing them, or just taking their energy. You can have them around you, but keep them at a distance if that's necessary. Of course, the best thing is just to completely not talk to them, not have their energy around you. And this is the one aspect. The other aspect is, what are you going to do with those people that you really want to have in your life, that you have to have in your life, for example, because you like your job, or you like your school, or you like what you're doing, but there are certain people who just come with it, and you do not want to pay the price of removing yourself from that situation because you want to stay there. And in these situations, we have to really learn to set up boundaries and tell people what is so important to us. In a way, this is just an energetical kind of thing. So if you have people that you talk to, and every time you talk to them, there's something negative coming from them that you're not accepting, then you have to really make sure that you freak out in a way every time something like this happens, that you actually voice what you want to address, and say I cannot deal with this negativity, I cannot deal with this putting down of me, of others, just this dampening energy around me, and really hope for the best, pretty much. But there's not just, it's all in your control pretty much, because you can in a lot of ways really create those boundaries and make it uncomfortable for other people to be negative around you. I mean, I'm all about free will, as you know. I'm all about, people have to decide how they want to experience their life at that moment. Sometimes you just need to be in a negative space. This is exactly where you need to be, so you get the realization, so the pain is big enough, so you change something about your life. But as much as it is a free choice of others to decide what you're going to do, it's also your choice to say, listen, I'm not accepting of that. And we have to be aware that we have that right. So, and pretty much what happens is, you just have to overrule people with your positive energy, and to just make sure, no matter how they act, because they want to bring you down. People who are negative naturally want to bring other people down, so they connect with them on that level, so others can share their pain with them. That's a natural thing that happens. It's not it's not even, I mean, sometimes you just really do everything inside and completely shut yourself out. But I mean, with those people who actually exude negative energy, for them, those are more of the extroverts. For them, it's more important to kind of like get it out of their system. They cannot take the pain otherwise. And so by you being there and not accepting them in that way, in a way you're ignoring them. You're not ignoring them in a way you don't talk to them and stuff, but if somebody just keeps having this negative energy around you, you can just counter work to that, to talk to like the 5 people who are around you as well, and just like create this awesome warm energy, and that's full of passion and full of all of those things. And what happens most of the time, the people around you either remove themselves, or if it's something that important to them, they just catch up with you because they have no other choice. I've had both situations. I have situations where I just like, I couldn't take it anymore. This has become like, I've become so sensitive to negative energy around me because I've been able to really accelerate my mental space and my positive energy and so on. So I'm very sensitive when there are people around me who do have negative tendencies and negative mindsets at that moment. And it has happened to me that people just get so upset or so mad at me that I don't get drawn down by them, and I just ignored their negativity by just talking as little as possible with them, but them seeing that you're having positive interactions with others. And a lot of times people really rise themselves up. They get kind of like inspired by it because positive, like higher energy always wins in a way. This is why if you're really down and you've absorbed all your pain and you're one of those people who takes everything in and doesn't like put it out there, you do have a very, very low energy level, and you do have a lower energy level than somebody who's angry. I mean, if you look like at those energy levels and frequencies, and there's always apathy and hopelessness and all those things, they're always below anger. So those people who tend to be angry and put that out there, or put negative energy out there, they do have more energy than you, so you automatically get pulled into this. And so for you, it's your task to get yourself higher than that, get to like a really positive, like peace, happiness, blissfulness, and so on, joy, fun, to get yourself into that sphere, because then that other person doesn't have a chance. And there is like, I always used to have like a bad conscience about this, like how can I really have the right to put my energy onto those people? Aren't they supposed to like choose for themselves? But this is where you need to like think outside of yourself. It's always good to have positive energy around you. It's always good to be positive and thankful for what we have, because we can, if you look at it from a big perspective, we have to be grateful that we are alive, that we have something to eat, that, there's so much negativity that's really, really so much worse than what we have. And once we concentrate on the positive things, it is really, there's nothing wrong with exuding that. If you have somebody who's like really, in a lot of pain at that moment, it's still like a good thing for you to be happy. Like if somebody's grieving, you want to be respectful towards that person. You don't want to be laughing and like, oh, everything is so great. But altogether, it's always better for that person to be around a positive environment, a positive energy, because it gets people up. Or, as I said, I've had situations where people just completely left. They were so mad. They were so powerless in that moment, and they're not used to it. Because normally once you're like, tend to be an angry person, in a lot of ways you have effect on other people, and you're used to affecting other people with your negativity without even realizing it. So once you get like into situations like this, people sometimes really get that upset that they leave. And that's on them. That's not your doing. That's nothing you have to be ashamed of or feel guilty about. That's just what it is. And then, of course, there's this thing where people just like kind of pull themselves up and get in your level. And I think what I mainly want to address in this video is just to have like a balance between like how much are you willing to remove from your life, or you yourself remove yourself from situations, and how much you really gonna affect your environment. Like a lot of people talk about manipulation, I think it's called, in this situation, and it does have a negative connotation to it, but it actually hasn't. We manipulate people every day, all the time. By you being around them, you automatically have some kind of effect on other people, and it's not in your best interest to say like I don't want to have effect on other people. It's not natural. It's not what's bringing you and others up. So be aware that you can change people around you. You can change the atmosphere where you're at. You don't always have to hide and run away and just remove yourself. And I think it's a lot of habit, it's a lot of practice to really understand when to choose what situation, and just always repeat that to yourself. Like for me, it has been the best thing to just kind of like remind myself every other day I'm in situations like this, to like really, do I want to completely remove myself from the situation, or am I gonna just stay at where I'm at and I'm just not gonna let others affect me? And this has a lot to do with having enough energy to put up with it, and to have enough energy to really stay your ground and really stay there. Because as I said, the lower your energy level, the more difficult it is. The higher your energy level is in the way of positivity, joy for life and so on, the easier it is for you to stay grounded and stay in that place. And the next video, I'm gonna exactly talk about that, how to get like a positive output in a way to have like an energy profit, because you do take in negative energy as well, and you also can take in positive energy and what you put out, and that you in yourself, without even thinking about others, are supposed to have like a positive, like it should be plus something. Like if you have negative situations that you're dealing with, you can only take that much. As it, like, let's say you take an energy of -4, then at least you have to have positive energy of +5 to get into a positive thing. And to how we're gonna create that positive plus is of very big importance, because there's a lot of things that play with it. And especially in the beginning, once you really start to take control of your life, it's very, very difficult, because you are at a low energy level. You have to decide what situations you're going to put yourself in order to get like those positive emotions, to get positive feedback, to create a positive environment. And it's like an exponential learning curve. It is like this all the way. It's so difficult and in the beginning, but it does get better. So it is really about being disciplined. How my brother said it, when motivation stops, it's where discipline begins, because in the beginning, that's the only choice you have. You have to stay disciplined and really create a plus in your life. And I'll talk about it more in the next video. And I hope this topic helped you, and talk to you next time. Bye.